Digby, put yourself in the situation of someone who's running a successful business here at home, don't do any export, but everything is just fine. Why would they risk that success on a foreign adventure?
I've always believed in the power of business for good and the power of trade for good. And at last, we are free to make a difference in the developing world by using trade as it should be used. And the great thing about export, and if you're watching this and you're thinking, I don't export, should I? Then it makes you more productive at home because you're more competitive, because as long as you've got your ears and eyes open, you're actually coming up against people who do it as well as you. And therefore you think, how do they do that? And you learn and you understand and you probably invest differently, probably better. You certainly train better in different skill sets because export is a fabulous driver back at the ranch of making you more productive. There is a very, very important expression for what will happen to Western democracies in the next 100 years, and it is relative decline. Relative decline, you can actually progress, but in relative terms, you're going backwards. So if you're looking at your business and year on year, you're making a few bob more every year, what's to worry about? Well, I'll tell you now, if your rival in global markets is actually going more quickly than you, in real terms, on a global aspect, you're falling backwards. And one day, they'll either be on your doorstep, selling what you do more cheaply and more productively, or you'll actually find that someone who's buying your product at the moment in an overseas market doesn't buy it anymore because they're buying it from somebody else. It is no good that day saying, ooh, we've got to do something about this. Too late. The time to do it is when you've got a few bob, you're doing all right at home, and in metaphorical terms, you've got your feet up. And if you think, he's ridiculous, I haven't got my feet up, I'm working incredibly hard, I'm taking risk every day, welcome to business. Yes, you are. But there's somebody on the other side of the world who's working twice as hard, has invested more and more money, and is going after your markets.
So you might see exporting as a risk, but actually the bigger risk is not doing it.
Yeah. And I had a lesson taught me. I can remember when I was CBI and I was on a visit drumming up business in South Korea. And I was flying out of Incheon Airport back to London. And the message came through, the CEO of the airport would like you to get there an hour early and he'll show you around the airport. I thought, great idea. I went out and they built this airport for capacity was 5 times what they needed. 5 times! And I said, well, it's ridiculous. What a waste of money.
All this empty space.
Yeah. And he said, well, it won't be like this in 25 years' time, will it? South Korea's doing this, and in 25 years' time, this will be full. That's why I'm building it today. What we would do today is we'd say, well, we'll sort of cut here, cut there, squeeze that, do it on the cheap, and in 5 years' time, it'll be at capacity, but we'll worry about that because it'll be a different government and a different minister and a different editor of a newspaper and a different local councillor. So I'll just do what's easy for me.
We'll worry about tomorrow.
And we'll worry about tomorrow. Well, if ever Brexit has given us an opportunity, it's to worry about tomorrow today.